Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Anime Podcasters. Today, we have our amazing co-host, Hotshot Ginger, Caution Ginger, Hotshot Danger Ginger. Ginger, how's it going?
I'm fine.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that.
All right, guys, we're coming at you with the OG crew, just me and Jaden, no guests, no other third person. It's just me and Jaden again.
Yes, Jiren and Hotshot are back, and today the topic is Naruto, but we're doing it a bit differently here. We're talking strictly about the first season of Naruto when he was still getting all the way from...
Well, not first season, first series.
First series, yeah, I guess. From the first episode all the way through the Sasuke Retrieval Arc, and this is going to what we're doing. We're going to be reviewing it arc by arc by arc. But we're going to be doing this in a bubble, meaning in our mind right now, we don't know what Shippuden is. We don't know what Boruto is. These things have never happened. We're really taking it like it just happened yesterday. Naruto, the first series concluded, and we don't have Shippuden yet. So we're basically back in the early 2000s. Like, watch this.
I'm a kid again. No responsibilities, no bills. I can't drive and I can't drink.
If I ask Hotshot about Shippuden, look at what happens. Hey, have you ever heard about Shippuden before, Hotshot?
The fuck is that?
What about Boruto?
Who?
Okay, exactly. You see? So we're doing it in a bubble. I mean, I cannot be more clear with this example. So let's get into it. The very first arc we're going to be talking about here is basically the prologue, the beginning, and the whole land of waves. So we see Naruto, still a Ninja Academy student, and... basically, he steals the scroll. There's a lot of learning he goes through in the first episode, and he masters A-level ninjutsu in the very first episode and kicks Mitsuki down to the ground. I think that's the name, or whatever. I think I'm watching too much. Oh, I don't even know.
I think it's Mizuki.
Mizuki,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Mizuki.
All I know is that he has a bandana-style headband, a giant shuriken, and he's a bit of a prick.
How much of a prick is he in this episode and this first arc? I mean, he paints the Hokage walls like a lot of a prick.
Yeah, he convinces Naruto to steal something from the Hokage's office and use it, and only to basically get his hands on the fox. So yeah, he's a bit of a prick.
Right, but I feel like this arc moves pretty quickly. It's rather short as well, because the Land of Wave arc, where Zabuza and Haku show up, is a couple of episodes, and it's over. And we see him go through a lot of growth. Like, I think he goes through the most growth in this first initial arc, where he becomes a Genin. He gets placed in the squad, Team 7, with Sakura and Sasuke. And I really enjoyed this, where Sasuke is the best student, and to balance it out, they had to put the worst student, so they throw Naruto in there. What do you think about the formation of Team 7?
It seems kind of well balanced, but especially in where we are, so the others don't exist. So in the series, Sakura is kind of useless for a very long time. Sasuke is a bit overpowered, but is easily like, I need to get better, I need to get stronger, blah, blah, blah. And then Naruto says, I'm already the best. So it's kind of a mix of three completely different personalities, along with a cool-headed master who has never accepted a team before. And then he accepts these three because of... You remember the actual reason?
I do not, please.
So they failed their training test on getting the bells, but then when Naruto was tied to the post...
Oh, they gave him the lunch. I remember this. Yeah.
They gave him the lunch and showed a smidge of teamwork, and Kakashi took him in.
The bell test was really a great test, and I remember now that you mentioned it, the scene with Iruka in the third talking here, saying, why did they assign him to Kakashi? He's never success. Like, all of the people who've done his tests have just failed. And what happens if you fail that test and you just graduate? Do you just go back to the academy, or do you not ever become a ninja? I don't understand what.
You go back to the academy and basically try again from square one.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that?
Basically, your entire... I want to say it's like a year or so to complete the Ninja Academy. But I could be wrong. It could be like 2 or 3 years. But you fail the test to get a sensei. You go back, repeat the entire school, and then have a chance of getting a master again, I think.
Right. What did you think about the bell test? The test itself, where there's only two bells, the Jonin, and then the squad needs to basically work in as a team. But the thing that this bell test presents is basically individuality, because there's only two people and there's only two bells and three people who can pass. Right?
Well, yeah, but they do that because it's like who's willing to sacrifice getting a bell for their team to win. So it shows another sign of teamwork.
It does show
like sacrificing something for yourself for the betterment of your team.
I also enjoyed throughout that the whole test where he shows the example of taijutsu against Naruto, and then the example of genjutsu against Sakura, and then the example of ninjutsu against Sasuke. It's a really good introduction here, as we learn with the art of the ninja. I really enjoyed that aspect of the bell exam
because he uses like each different type against them to give it its own little introduction.
Right.
Of sorts.
Right.
Like, I mean, we've seen ninjutsu before because we saw Naruto use the shadow clones and everything. We've barely seen taijutsu. And genjutsu, I don't think, has even been touched on before that happened. Like, ninjutsu is the only one that we actually knew going in, because we saw the shadow clones,
exactly.
And we know,
yeah.
And the tests and everything like that. But then Kakashi gets here and actually explains what all three are. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
And going over here, that after they succeed, they obviously have that mission where they have to escort the Tazuna, the bridge builder. And what we thought is a D rank mission becomes a B rank because of the Mist brothers who attack the squad on their way there, and then we get introduced to the first villain, Zabuza and Haku. The Land of Waves arc was really great in my opinion. What were your thoughts on the Land of Waves?
I love the Land of Waves, and I love Zabuza. I love Haku, especially because it's the first time we've actually seen like a big time, I guess, reoccurring villain for an entire arc, and those two work so well together. I mean, honestly, I don't like Tazuna. I don't really care for the kid. The mom, I mean, she's not really on screen long enough to really get a grasp on.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get the entire village is suffering because of I actually don't even remember his name. Gato, I think.
Oh,
Gato.
The gangster guy, basically.
Yeah, I'm just calling him Mob Boss.
Mob Boss.
So everyone's suffering because of Mob Boss, and he's paying Zabuza and everything to stop the bridge from being built. Him, I kind of like, because I mean it's just like who's controlling the villains behind all this, and then he has his two personal bodyguards in Zabuza and Haku. But honestly, the only characters that are introduced in that arc that I really love are Haku and Zabuza, and then that's because of A, how well they work together, and B, because the fight scenes with them are awesome.
The fights are awesome, but I also feel like when Haku basically sacrifices himself and gets the lightning blade through the chest from Kakashi, they basically, what that introduces is two things in my opinion. The fact that it's the reality of the ninja world where people will die. Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, like, people will die. This is the field that you're going into is one where death occurs. And also, basically, Haku was a bit of a tool for Zabuza to use. Yeah, they had a bond and everything, but I felt like basically Haku was basically ready to sacrifice himself for Zabuza no matter what, and it was a bit of a weird relationship they had, but it was one where they cared, and once Haku dies, Zabuza is really put into a hard place. There's a lot to it.
Yeah. And it's kind of, I mean, you're right when you say that there's a lot to it, and a lot to that arc especially. Yeah, there is death involved in every single mission. Like, whether it's a D rank or a S rank, there's a chance that you will die. It's just kind of like, okay, is there like a minimal chance or a very high chance?
Right.
I mean, the occupation? Yeah. The occupation of a ninja is an extreme bad decision on like health standards, because you probably will die on one of these missions in your career. But it also so you remember how Zabuza graduates, right?
Yeah,
how he kills everyone in his graduating class, and he's the only sole survivor.
I
And that's how
remember this.
Mist does it.
Yeah.
So I mean, they get it from very early on that, like, only one survives, you are a tool, and you are only used to kill. Like,
I mean,
that's like assassination kind of ninja type.
I mean, okay, I want to say two things.
Okay.
Going into what you just said with the whole death and how that's how they do their Chunin exams in the mist. I mean, there's also death in the forest of death. They literally have a phase called the forest of death. I think back to when Shino, Kiba, and Hinata had those leeches. Basically sneak up on that team in the at the very beginning of the forest of death, and they basically kill the teammates right away because those leeches. What they do is they install themselves on the back of your neck and suck out the blood until you die. So obviously, very ready to death is a thing you must be ready for in that occupation. I don't want to like repeat that point too much, but how do you feel this whole reality that Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura witness, especially when Sasuke sacrifices himself and quote unquote sacrifices himself for Naruto, sets them up for the Chunin exams? Does that prepare them for the Chunin exams, do you think?
I think it does because since this mission jumps from a D to a B, they're seeing more high-powered level shinobi and what they can do, and it comes more than just like, okay, you see a punch, take it, because they're, especially Sasuke, they're watching their enemies' movements, they're learning the ninjutsu, they're making a strategy and what they can do. I mean, hell, even when they first come across Zabuza and he has Kakashi in the water prison, Naruto even shows strategy because he throws himself in the
Shadow Shuriken Jutsu.
In a Shadow Shuriken, yeah. And then gets Kakashi free by tricking Zabuza. And actually hits Zabuza. So
yeah, basically.
I mean, there's a whole lot of strategy. There's a whole lot of like analyzing everything that they're actually learning and going with their guts and everything. So yeah, I really do feel like that it trains them for the Chunin exams. Because if it was just an escort mission where they might have a chance of getting jumped, then they wouldn't have really learned anything except for the chakra control, and they wouldn't have learned anything about like an actual battle type situation because none of them have really been in a fight until then.
Fair enough. Also, the introduction of the Sharingan from Kakashi is really cool.
Just throwing it out there.
I love that. I love that when he uses the Sharingan and starts copying Zabuza's jutsu and everything. But I think we should move on to the Chunin exams here. Basically, Kakashi signs up Team 7 for the Chunin exams and feels that they're ready. And I mean, I think he's correct. And the way this Chunin exam is built is the different stages of it, where you have a written portion, the Force of Death, preliminaries, and then the actual like tournament style Chunin battle. What was your overall thoughts on this arc, the Chunin exams?
So when I was a kid watching Naruto, the Chunin exam, an episode in the Chunin exam was actually my first episode. And
me too.
As a whole, really? No.
Gaara versus Lee was my first episode ever.
Oh, mine was Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura fight the Mist Ninja.
Yes,
like
with Kabuto.
The ones with the gat. No, not Kabuto. I said Mist Ninja.
Oh, okay. Well, in the Force of Death,
the ones with the gas mask and the Force of Death.
Yeah, Kabuto was there.
Kabuto was there, yeah, but I'm talking about like the.
Oh, the first time ever.
Yeah.
Okay, where they were by himself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I want to say something about that, but finish.
Okay, go.
Sasuke was such a badass. Sasuke was so ready. Sasuke was everything. I was like, Sakura, look around. You don't know, blah, blah, blah. He notices the transformation right away. He is alert. He uses his chakra to get that kunai on his foot and just throws it right back at the guy and damages him. And it was great. And this is where he gets the curse mark right after against Orochimaru. Like, he was just such a badass.
And then Sakura defends him and actually defends him until she gets hurt, and then Sasuke goes batshit insane. So,
oh my god, yeah. Also, like we really see Naruto's QB come out a bit more here when he was fighting against Orochimaru. He's like, try me, and everything. And Naruto just starts coming into its own way more, where they had that whole secret code thing where it was like try to guess the you have to like recite this exact text to know that you're the real one, and then Naruto's transformation, which was Orochimaru, recites the text and it's actually Orochimaru, and Sasuke notices it right away. What a badass.
Anyway, I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because we jumped right into the Forest of Death. There's also another part before that, which is the written exam.
Yeah, Ibiki. Another badass.
Ibiki is another badass. Anko, who comes in later, is another badass. But
I mean, there's a lot of it.
There's a lot of badass. But I'm talking the exam in general, where we cannot, or basically they say no cheating, answer this, and if we see you cheating, then you're immediately disqualified, and that goes for your entire squad. Yeah. But the meaning in that, do not let us catch you cheating. They want everyone to secretly gather information for like recon, for training, because I mean that's what a ninja is, right? Going in stealthily and getting information. So that's exactly what they're supposed to do here, finding out who has the answers and writing down the answers. And it's just 10 questions. The only problem is you can't get caught. You get caught, your entire squad is done for the year.
Basically, and a couple of notes on that. I really liked Sasuke's Sharingan used there, where he starts writing down exactly what the other guy is writing down, so to get the answers.
The one time we see him smile. I just want to say that.
Or when Neji uses the Byakugan, or Gaara's eye, or Kankuro sneaking in an extra puppet among the Jonin to get the answers when he goes to the bathroom. Ino's mind transfer. They really do everything here.
Yeah, and then you have some people like Shikamaru who probably honestly just already knows the answers.
Or and then Sakura you have Naruto, too, yeah.
And then Sakura. And then you have Naruto, who doesn't answer a single fucking question the entire time.
I loved it.
Gets
I
passed.
Love that. When he raises his hand and just like, no, don't give up,
Naruto. No. I missed one thing.
What?
Hinata offers her answer sheet to Naruto.
And then he gets caught for almost peeking, and then the guy writes down something, so it's... anyways. And like how they throw the... Oh, there's so many great things.
And then he's like,
that.
She's trying to get me caught. And then Hinata just wants to help. And it's just... It's that scene is a little hard to watch just because I'm trying to help. You're fucking me up. And it's just like...
I also enjoyed how they put... Chunins and Jonis within the actual people who are writing the test, just so
like they're not all students and everything, so they don't even know that they're being watched by other people.
No, but specifically to give them the opportunity to cheat on those people.
Oh, gotcha, right. Well, I mean that, and yeah, so they have like another secret eye watching over them. Exactly. So then after the entire. Actually, we missed a huge step in this. We've had a couple like inputs on some of the other characters so far in the entire show, but the Chunin exam, especially in the written area where everyone goes to take the test, that's the first time where we actually meet all of the Leaf Ninja 12. Like, where we actually go into and meet their characters.
I mean,
like,
yeah, you have the Rookie 9, and then you have Lee, Neji, and Tenten.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a little bit of them. Like, we've seen a little bit of Shikamaru, seen a little bit of Ino, some of Choji, but not really anything to say, hey, these are actually reoccurring characters. And then you meet all of them here, and they're talking just classmates. And then you meet Kiba, Shino, Hinata, Shikamaru, Ino, Choji, Naruto. We already met him. Lee, Neji, Tenten. You just meet everybody and actually get a little bit of a taste of all the characters. And then you have Kabuto introduced and showing his ninja info cards.
Yeah, ninja info cards. And Gaara,
then you have the Sand 3 as well. So it's just kind of, this is the first arc where all of them are actually together, where you see these are who we want you to focus on.
Definitely. I think like moving on now, I think we've covered it well enough. Into the
written exam.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Do we want to do the forest, or do we want to get right to the fight?
Really quickly on the forest, I just wanted to add, I did enjoy specifically the entire survival aspect of it, and how this one was the coolest exam in my opinion. Like, a battle is a battle. We have battles all the time. This one is like, you have 5 days to get another scroll, and if you open the scroll, you can't be trusted. And I just wanted to highlight, Gaara completes the test in a couple of hours or whatever, and is not even damaged at all. And it's like faster than some Jonin do it. I think it was 90 minutes. He completed it in 90 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, an hour and a half.
For
Gaara's
actually,
team,
I think I think you're right.
Yeah.
Truth told, I'm really sketchy on the beginning of the tuning exams. Like, when the preliminaries start, that's where I know everything. But up until that point, I'm a little bit sketchy, so I kind of have to take what you're saying at its word.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but he finishes it very quickly, and he finishes it faster than other Jonin do. And then we move on to the preliminary rounds. And I mean, what was your favorite fight here?
My favorite fight in the preliminaries?
Yes.
It's hard, but I'm gonna have to say Lee and Gaara.
I mean, that's such a like everyone answer. I really enjoyed Kin versus Shikamaru.
Yeah. Wait, who versus who?
Kin versus Shikamaru.
I mean, Shikamaru is one of your favorite characters in general, isn't he?
Right. But like the way he outsmarts Kin with the shadow possession jutsu, and he throws
with the shadow the shadow under the line. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she bends over and hits her head.
Bonk.
That
was probably like, it wasn't the most bitch way to go out, but it was just like, his win was probably the funniest. You got to admit that.
I think Dosa's win against Choji was the funniest. Do you remember this?
Oh God.
Human boulder. Bang, 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 bang. Sound blast.
Yeah, the entire body just ripples with water. It's just like, I mean, I wanted Choji to win so badly, but at the same time, it's just like, I mean, if anything, that just shows me that Naruto as a series, sometimes the main characters will lose and the side characters will walk away with the win. That's what that showed me.
Yeah, and strictly Naruto, because we don't know anything other than just Naruto, the first series.
Nothing else exists.
Dragon
Ball doesn't exist. Bleach doesn't exist. Death Note, thank God, doesn't exist. It's just Naruto. That's the only anime we have ever.
Anime podcasters doesn't exist? No, okay.
Anime podcasters is strictly Naruto podcasters.
Yes.
We are now the Konoha Podcast. Hi, guys, and welcome to Konoha Podcast. I'm your host.
Not Hotshot from Anime Podcasters.
No.
So, after that, preliminary round-wise, I mean, the only reason why they had to obviously do it was because there was 20 people.
Yeah, there were so many, so they needed some way to eliminate them, and it was a way to test their strength and see what they can do. And especially in the match, if you show too many of your tricks in the preliminaries and walk away with the win, everyone else was watching this match. Your future opponent was watching this match. Mm-hmm. So they could think of a way to counter that move. So you had to come up with a new strategy or new moves even in the time frame that was in between preliminaries and the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where we move on to Naruto's training, basically, before the actual main event of the Chunin exams, where he learns how to summon Gababunta, where you get introduced to a pervy stage. Your favorite character, one of your favorite characters, obviously. What was your thoughts on that whole segment of things?
I mean, Naruto does this a lot, where it takes breaks in between like big time events where it's just training and showing growth. I really appreciate that in not just this, but in other shows too. So with him actually growing, learning chakra control, and especially this is where we get introduced kind of to walking on water. Because when they fought against Zabuza, a water ninja, mind you, they never really walked on water. They were always fighting on land or like in very shallow water.
Or they learned how to walk on the trees and everything. But
they learned how to walk on the trees, yeah. But now we're here seeing that they can walk on water. Something that you're supposed to fall down into, they can walk on.
No, absolutely.
Especially, and then you also get introduced to kind of all the mystery of Pervy Sage. Like, yeah, he's a pervert. He's writing the books and everything else. But especially when they're training, when Naruto is trying to channel his chakra into his feet, Pervy Sage sees the the tetragram seal. He sees Nine-Tails seal.
Yeah.
He knows it's the fourth Hokage's, and he knows that the 5-gram seal was put on by Orochimaru. So he knows who Orochimaru is, and he knows who the fourth Hokage is. How? Why? Who is this guy? It's just kind of like has this facade of like the perv and everything else, like that's all he is. But very clearly, when he's training Naruto and thinking to himself, there's more to him, and that's one of the reasons why I love Privy Sage so much.
Absolutely. Privy Sage was great. I also like a bit of a Kabuto sneaking around where he goes to inspect on Sasuke in the hospital and Kakashi tries to get on him, and then he's disguised as an Abu, or also when he kills that Leaf,
The
Jonin.
Hayate, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a whole thing. Baki, we is there too, the sensei for Gaara, Kankuro, and Tamaru, and we start seeing that there's some sort of alliance here between the Sound and the Sand, and there's rumblings here. I also think we should highlight, obviously, the curse mark that Sasuke receives back there in the forest. That obviously is going to play a big part coming up here in the Chunin Exams.
Yeah, that's something to also highlight in the preliminary fights that we forgot to mention. After Sasuke's fight, Kakashi went back and sealed the curse mark. And if you remember, Anko was watching the curse mark and knew what it was too. So there's a lot of characters that know more than they're letting on.
Right, because, I mean, we do find this out in the Forest of Death that Anko also has that curse mark.
Right. So,
yeah.
So, I mean, like, she sees the curse mark, doesn't say anything, but then she sees it recede. And still, like, we don't even ever get a scene between, like, Anko and Sasuke, like, hey, I know what this is, and then like talking about the curse mark, like what it is and what it does and stuff like that. If that happened, I feel like the series would have gone a little bit differently, because we never actually see Anko fight either, unfortunately, but we know she has the curse mark, that she's lived with the curse mark, and she's relatively in control of it.
100%. Another thing that's very important to note here that I actually wanted to mention about Anko. I don't know if it's important, but you know how she meets up with Orochimaru in the Forest of Death?
Yeah.
And she attempts that suicide technique?
Yeah.
How do you learn a suicide technique? Because you need to practice it, right?
Yeah, you need to practice a technique in order to actually perfect it, but if you practice a suicide technique, you're going to die.
So how?
But here's what I project to you. Maybe she did practice the suicide technique, but she can't perfect it, because if you perfect it, you will die. But if you do an imperfection of it, then you walk away gravely injured or somehow neglected, somehow negated or anything like that.
On the brink of death?
On the brink of death. Like, you still live, but you're practically dead.
Ridiculous.
And then when you use it at full power, like at its full potential, that's when you die.
What were your thoughts on Gaara going into the hospital where Rock Lee was and attempting to almost kill him again, and then Naruto and Shikamaru stop him?
I love it.
It's like, what's your deal with this guy?
Like, I mean, Gaara, when Gaara was introduced, just in general, he did his job very well. He creeped everybody out in show and out of show. Just sends shivers up our spines, just... This guy is freaky, he's creepy, we love him. And when he goes to the hospital to try and kill Lee, and then Shikamaru and Naruto stop him, I always loved the shadow possession technique, so with that being the way to stop him, yes. But then when Naruto punches Gaara and it hits Shikamaru, we never see something like that again. Like, if his shadow is connected to Gaara and he feels the hit, we never see something like that, because in Kin's preliminary round against him, Kin hit her head with the shadow attached and he didn't feel the hit.
He released right before. That's what I think what happened.
I think he was still holding it, wasn't he?
Well, if he's falling back and then he just releases it, you're the position you're in is falling back, so your gravity will do its course and you'll just fall back.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's what I thought of that.
I'm actually gonna have to watch that part again, because you're probably right, but I need to see if that actually is
factual,
what happened.
actual. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I honestly that's what I think happened. Let's get into some of these fights in the Chunin exam. Naruto versus Neji. Oh my God, this fight was everything. I mean, I love the way it started out where Kiba's there like, oh, with Hinata like, okay, let's see how this goes. I'm sure Naruto's gonna do something good, right? And then he just clones, pops up 4 clones and starts running towards Neji, and he's like, a frontal attack's never gonna work, idiot. Classic Naruto right there, just going for it.
Just going for it, just all guns blazing, and we get introduced to one of my favorite Naruto moves of all time, which is the Hyuga 64 palm.
Oh my God, yes.
I freaking love this move because
yeah, go ahead.
It completely, like, if you're a battery and you're hit with this, all your power is gone. You have no power. You have nothing to work with. And it's just, it's not disappeared, but it's blocked so you can't access it. It keeps you alive because you still have chakra in you, but it seals it so you can't use it for any of your big stuff.
Definitely.
And I love sealing moves like this.
I did enjoy it too. What I also enjoyed it is when he puts himself in the position to do it, and every Hyuga in the audience is like, "There's no way. He's the lower branch. How does he know this technique?" And then he's like, "Screw you! I'm just as good as the main branch," and just fires everything at Naruto. But obviously Naruto has this nine-tailed chakra, so it was kind of counteractive to do this because you're forcing him to use his stronger chakra.
Yeah, but I mean, if you remember, only the Jonin and up, like, only people who were kids at the time of Naruto's thing, or Naruto's birth, only they know that he has the Nine Tails, and they kept it secret from everybody. And no one in Naruto's class knows that he has Nine Tails chakra, or that he can even access it.
Very good point. Yeah, no, very fair point. I also loved after that the rotation technique against Naruto, just going crazy with the Nine Tails chakra, and then he pops out of the ground at the end. Boom! Oh, that was great.
Just the like hard right uppercut to Neji and then knocking him down.
That was everything.
That was an awesome finishing blow.
Awesome finishing blow.
And then when you realize that when Naruto was knocked back from the rotation, he had to dig through the ground and get under Neji in order to get that punch in.
Yeah, and that's the same exact tunnel that Shikamaru uses to trap Temari in that second battle, which I loved that.
Which, I mean, that just goes to show you that Shikamaru's strategy, he's watching all these fights so that he knows where that is, he knows what it is, and he uses it again. His strategist moves are completely off the grid. It's just, or off the charts, not off the grid, sorry. It's just completely, this guy can plan for pretty much anything.
I really love that. And I also love the commentary of Choji and Ino going, oh my God, he's gonna win, and Choji's like, he's gonna give up. 2 more minutes, he's out. This is way too much effort for him.
And then he's like, I give up. And everybody hates him for it. Like, what the hell?
Yes, I know. And two things on this.
Well,
two things on this.
Okay, go.
Okay, first of all, the only person to become a Chunin is the one who gives up.
Yeah.
What the hell? Secondly, I loved the strategy he had where he just wanted to push back Temari, gaining time with the sun setting and getting time with that his clothes on the kunai, prolonging the distance of his shadow. The only reason was to get it all the way to the tunnel. That was smart battle play right there.
Again, his strategy guide is way off charts. Like, he sees what it is and he knows what he needs to make it work, and he makes it work.
He was 5 steps ahead, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, like 15, honestly, if you think about it.
Everything. And then we move on. Yeah, go ahead.
Just one more thing about Shikamaru.
Yes.
When he gets the Shadow Possession, so he has Temari locked down. She can't do anything. She's helpless to do whatever he does, and he gives up because he's already won the match. He sees he has a victory. He doesn't see any point in continuing on.
He was out of chakra. He's like,
I mean, I know he says I'm out of chakra, but in all honest truth, I honestly think it's just, hey, I won. Why do I have to win again? I'm out.
Nah. He was out of chakra. He's like, I had all these other moves planned ahead of this to win, which I really would have liked to see what he would have done. But no, he was out.
Okay.
He was out.
Well, I mean, agree to disagree.
Yeah, fair enough. But we've seen it throughout the series where
he runs out of chakra.
Yeah, he does run out of chakra often. But that's just, when he was against those Jonin in this, and he captures them, he runs out of chakra very quickly. Asuma saves him. Basically, I think he was telling the truth there. But moving on, Sasuke versus Gaara, the introduction to the Sasuke Chidori. What were your thoughts?
I love black suit Sasuke. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually
probably
probably
right?
my favorite suit.
Same.
And I mean, okay, so we know that Gaara has an impenetrable defense, or at least a really high defense. So Sasuke has two things on him now. One, the training that he did with Kakashi not only taught him the Chidori, but brought his speed almost to that of Lee. So, I mean, his defense wasn't... So, I mean, Lee, if you guys remember, when Lee was fighting Gaara, the defense around him was breaking because of the fight, because it couldn't keep up with how fast Lee was. So if Sasuke was almost as fast, yeah, the impenetrable defense is gonna get penetrated. So I love that added to it, and I love the Chidori, but okay, so this doesn't come in till later, but you remember when Gaara actually encloses himself in a hard sand to get away from the Chidori?
Yeah.
And then Sasuke is actually going through said shell with a Chidori.
1,000 birds.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, God damn.
It's like, it was everything. It was everything. And then, I mean, that kind of concludes the Chunin exams because basically, boom, big explosion.
Yeah, immediately, like halfway in that fight, the destruction of the leaf starts.
Oh my God, the destruction of the leaf was one of the hardest pills to swallow.
And there are several reasons for that.
Reason one. Okay, we go one reason at a time. You go first.
Reason one, third Hokage dies.
Oh my God. I mean, we went over this in the last podcast, but the third Hokage's death and Orochimaru's battle, and you know what? You know what? The Anbu Black Ops, whatever you want to call them, the Anbu, whatever the name is, are stupid.
Agreed.
Do you know why they're... No. You think they're stupid because they didn't get in there ahead of time, right?
No, they're stupid because they didn't spot Kabuto being an imposter.
Right. Okay. Well, that also, but they're stupid because they do that stupid that square jutsu thing where it seals them on the building, right?
Right.
We agreed that there's the walls and then there's the roof, right?
Yeah.
The floor is all tiles, right?
Yeah. Where are you going with this?
Why don't the Anbu go through the freaking roof?
I got nothing.
But seriously.
I can't defend them.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. That's why I can't defend them against you on this.
That's ridiculous. Like, you're an Anbu. Like, you're you protect the Hokage, and you can't go through a roof? A roof?
I'm calling it a plot device. That's the only thing we can call it.
I mean, their usefulness level is approaching Sakura level very quickly here.
Well, I mean, yeah, because the only Anbu that we see that are even worth their while are Kakashi and... Actually, no, just Kakashi.
Kakashi, that's it. Leave it at that.
And he's not even an Anbu anymore. He retired from Anbu to be a teacher now. So, Anbu, you're useless.
Basically. But what I was going to say is after this, so the whole battle was really great where he brings back the two Hokages to life, and he sacrifices Kin and Zaku for it.
Yeah, the first two. He brings Lord First and Lord Second back.
Oh my God! If he had brought back the fourth, that would have been it. Like, he would have just died
but that would have already ignited something that happens later. That doesn't even happen because this is the only thing that exists.
Bubble. But then going back here, I want to talk about this whole Sasuke goes after Gaara right away. Goes after Kankuro.
Hey, we're not done yet. I want to finish my Chunin exam match and become Chunin because that's how I can get strong to kill my brother. So get the fuck back here.
And then what happens here is Sakura releases, Shikamaru releases, Naruto goes, they summon Pakun, and let's go, right? But then we also have Shino going in for battle as well. And this whole setup here where they're getting tracked by those Jonin, and then Shikamaru stops them ahead of time, and then Asuma kicks their butt. Like, just get me through the chain of events. What did you enjoy here?
throughout the entire chase
Yeah,
and stuff.
this is like some mini sort of Sasuke retrieval arc, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, it's kind of leaning up to it. I love the fact that we have more of a side character fighting off against one of the other ones. So we have Shino fighting up against Kankuro.
Because they were matched up and their match never got to it because the Kono attack began.
Yeah, exactly. And then as the chase continues, does Tamari stick with Gaara or does she get separated too? I don't remember.
Tamari does stick with Gaara all the way till.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have Sasuke finally meeting up with the two of them, and Gaara tries fighting off against Sasuke, and the fact that Gaara is still managing to push Sasuke back and slowly turning into a monster as it happens. He's like, this is the true power. You were kicking my ass in the ring, but this is what I can really do. So Sasuke is in bad shape. He's getting almost killed by Gaara at this point. And then the Leaf Ninja's #1 knucklehead Maverick Ninja shows up and completely kicks Gaara's ass.
Oh my god, the jealousy on Sasuke's face.
It's just like, ha 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 ha.
When he summons the toad and transforms it into a fox and just headbutts Gaara as hard as he can.
Yeah.
It was everything. And then Shikaku was like, oh, I got out. Now I'm going back in. God damn it.
But it's the fact that here's what it is. We've almost never even seen Gaara get hit except for Lee and Sasuke, and that was only because they were fast. And Naruto manages, when Gaara is at his full power, manages to not only hit him, but defeat him, which Sasuke and Lee have not done. So who was thought to be unbeatable is beaten by the completely seen as an underdog ninja.
Right?
And I mean, I get that that's for, like, as a studio, like, as far as the studio is concerned, I get that it's that way. So, the hero wins in the end and shows growth of the main character. But as a story goes, it still shows that, like, okay, so I get Naruto's trained and grown and everything this entire way through, but it's still kind of a hard thing to swallow that, like, he is completely unbeatable and then he's beaten by the title character.
Absolutely. Another thing also that I wanted to mention here was when Naruto goes to do that first summoning and he summons Gamakichi, I think, instead of Gamabunta, and then they start getting destroyed. And then when he summons Gamabunta's like, nah, man, I'm not helping you. And Gamakichi's like, that guy hurt me. He's like, that guy's going down. And then he decides to help him. That was great. Like that was great. I just enjoyed Gabunta in the air, like liquid bullets, like, and then when liquid bullets hit the sand bullets, it causes actual rain. Like, think about it. Naruto is getting level, and because of Gamabunta, he basically levels an entire forest.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, again, I know it's because of Gamabunta essentially, but at the same time, Naruto has the chakra capacity to summon the giant toad in the first place.
What the hell?
And then not only summon him, but then still have chakra left over to transform them into the fox.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, it was... Okay, so wrapping up here on this battle, this ultimate battle, what did you think? Like,
I loved
overall?
Every moment of it. It was a big battle, even on foot, where Naruto has like a whole bunch of clones going to Gaara, and then when Shikaku comes out, Naruto retaliates with Gamabunta, then the fox, and then the headbutt, and then the final fall down, where Gaara accepts that his defeat, but Naruto actually sympathizes with him and talks to him about what makes him as strong as he is. When Gaara, like, if you remember, Naruto is coming to him, like, his chin on the ground, just, like, scooching closer to him. Gaara thinks he's coming to him to kill him. But he's just explaining, you're on the wrong path. I've been where you are. Let me help you.
I mean, you really covered that ending very well. 2 points. I loved Naruto, like, showing us all these new clone techniques he showed us, like straight from Naruto's Ninja Handbook, and he has like 1,000 fists of clones just punching you everywhere. That was great. But the great another 2 things actually. I'm sorry, but there's so many good things. 1,000 Years of Death tag bomb style, absolutely an amazing attack.
That is honestly. I mean, I love 1,000 Years of Death in general because it's such a funny move, but at the same time, it's very effective. You can't deny that. But the fact that you're shoving a kunai in someone's butt with a paper bomb is next level.
I mean, that did more damage than Chidori.
It really did, though. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, Sasuke was kind of screwed. He used Chidori twice, and then he couldn't do anything else against Gaara. Like, attack potency wise, he's way lower than Naruto at this point in the anime. But I think another thing I want to talk about was Pakun, when he's like, "Hey kid, if you help me, I'll let you touch my paw. It's so soft." I know it's completely random, but that was another funny moment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Or when Naruto tries to summon Gamabunta first, but then gets Gamakichi and Gamatsu. It's just like, I'm not trying to summon you guys. I'm trying for your dad.
Yes. At the end of it all, I'm sorry for bringing up this sad note, but we have the third Hokage's death, which brings us to we need a new Hokage, which sets up the whole search for Tsunade arc. I'll let you start this off with the very beginning here, where they start asking people to become Hokage. We see the elders approach Jiraiya to become Hokage. He refuses. Initial thoughts on this arc?
Initial thoughts on it when it starts. I can see why Jiraiya says no to being Hokage, because he very clearly has the potential to be Hokage, but no. And I think, don't they ask Kakashi too at some point?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so they ask Jiraiya, and Jiraiya gets the idea of, I know who can be a perfect fit, let me go find her. And then that sets up the road for, hey, I'm gonna take my my student on the road, and we're gonna go find her, and she's gonna come back and be Hokage. So don't put another Hokage in office until we get back.
Definitely. This other thing I wanted to mention. The beginning of this arc also holds Hitachi and Kasami during the Leaf Village to find the Nine Tails. That was their mission here.
That was their and we don't even know why. We just know that they want the Nine Tails. And I loved Itachi, especially his fight against Kakashi, where about in the hour mark, about halfway through, they lock each other into a Genjutsu fight. And I love so Itachi uses Tsukuyomi, right, on Kakashi?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, I love that technique. And then when he reveals that it's going on for 72 hours, and then Kakashi collapsed when less than like 5 seconds have passed in the real world.
I know. And then my guy shows up, and that's where it all, like, they're like, okay, we can't do this.
It's like, nope, okay, the guy's here, we're gone, we're out, bye.
The handsome blue beast of the Leaf Village could not be defeated by
Nope, we're out. We can't deal with the flamboyancy, so we're gone. Laters.
Oh, absolutely great. And then this is where we find out it starts spreading a little bit here. Itachi's back, and Sasuke catches wind of this and goes after Itachi and gets absolutely destroyed.
Oh yeah, in the hospital, in the hotel that Jiraiya and Naruto are staying in a town for the time being.
Brother reunion,
because Itachi finally catches up with Naruto, tries to take him to his organization, and then you see Sasuke at the end of the hall completely light up the entire thing with a Chidori, and it does absolutely nothing.
Oh, it was, and then like he just starts getting destroyed, and then he's like, "What was destroying all for? Like nothing."
It's like, it was for nothing. You can't kill me until you hate me, and then one Genjutsu move from Itachi's Sharingan that we don't even see happen. We just see the Sharingan, and then Sasuke pass out.
Oh my god! And I mean, we get quickly introduced to some black flames here. I don't. I unfortunately in this build don't know exactly what this jutsu does, but we just see Naruto obviously not being able to. He's like, Jiraiya tells him, "Don't touch that." I wonder why.
It's fire. I mean, in general, you wouldn't touch fire anyway.
No, I know, but why is it black? You know.
I mean, okay, so black flames are actually a real thing, so I could make the argument here. But I won't.
Fair enough. And moving from this is where Naruto starts learning the Rasengan.
I love this freaking jutsu.
This jutsu is really your expertise. I'm gonna let you just take us through his training and your thoughts on it.
So
I'll interject here and there.
So the Rasengan, Naruto sees Jiraiya use this on. I actually don't even know why. I think he's a peddler or something. But he uses it on a guy. Naruto demands to know how to use this move. And Jiraiya, with some consideration, finally cracks and allows to train and agrees to train Naruto in this move. So the training for it is it's basically just a giant ball of spiraling chakra. So just chakra spiraling in your hand that you hurl into an enemy and they go absolutely flying. So the training consists of holding a water balloon and swirling the water in it alone until it explodes. And then it levels up from there to a ball where you have to keep the shape in the chakra without exploding it. And then the final stage of putting everything together. So Naruto goes through the water balloon and it takes him a while because he's also trying to do it with two hands. Then he goes to the ball, which takes him even longer. And in the middle of his training, they run into who they're actually trying to find, which is a classmate of Jiraiya's time. And do you want to introduce her, or do you want me to, since I'm already on a roll?
No, you're on the roll here.
So I believe it's a bar, they find who they're looking for named Tsunade. They get to talking about third Hokage being dead, about her being the next Hokage. And Naruto hears how Tsunade's trash talking just Hokages in general, gets really...
Oh my god, yes, this was great.
Really personally insulted because it's his dream to be Hokage, and here she is shitting all over his dream.
Insanely, yeah. She's like, that's not what I want to do. Like, only a crazy person does that. Like, everything.
Yeah, and then immediately after that, they go outside where Naruto tries taking her on. A single flick and Naruto's down because of Tsunade's immense strength. And then he tries using an imperfect Rasengan on it, which doesn't hit Tsunade, but she is completely surprised that he knows it, and surprised that he's the Nine-Tails child.
A lot of surprises.
Yeah, especially ones, like, even when Naruto is stricken back, Tsunade immediately lectures Jiraiya about teaching him the Rasengan.
I mean, very, very much so. I just not to get too sidetracked, but I think this is important to mention. At the end of the Konoha Crush, we obviously see that Orochimaru's arms were sealed, and Orochimaru's plan here is to go to Tsunade for her to heal his arms. And so, really, we have two different sets of people trying to get at Tsunade. We have Orochimaru and we have Jiraiya, which basically introduces the Sannin reunion here.
Yeah, and when we realize that those are the three Sannin, then one of them is still with the Leaf Ninja, or Leaf Village, which is Jiraiya. Then we have Tsunade, who's kind of a wanderer and a gambler, we find out. And then Orochimaru, who is completely and totally evil. So, if that's not a team breakup, I really don't know what is.
It was, oh my god, it was quite the showdown. What were your thoughts? I remember, I think Jiraiya was drugged or something, and he couldn't use the full potential of his chakra.
Yeah, his chakra was blocked because I think someone spiked his drink the night before, so his chakra was still blocked, so he couldn't summon, or he couldn't do a whole lot of his really big moves. Like, one of the moves that he does is Needle Jizo. When Orochimaru comes to kick him, and he says, blast, the jutsu isn't strong enough, even though a needle goes through Orochimaru's foot.
Right, or when he does the swamp, it's not big enough to sink the snake.
Yeah, or I don't even think that he tries using Rasengan or anything at that point either, because he doesn't have the chakra capacity for it yet.
Yeah, I do think we should mention her. What were your thoughts on Shizune when she got introduced here?
I love Shizune, just flat out. Like, I mean, she has the knowledge of the poisons, the knowledge of medical ninjutsu. We don't really see her fight, unfortunately, but for her to be the assistant of Tsunade, the most revered medical ninja pretty much ever, it makes a whole lot of sense for it.
It really does, yeah. I really enjoyed this showdown of Sasuke. Sorry, Sasuke. What am I saying? Orochimaru. I mean, I'm not completely off when I say Sasuke Orochimaru, but I really enjoyed this showdown, especially at the very beginning where she has this fear of blood, Tsunade, and she fights through that. Naruto absolutely impaling Kabuto with the Rasengan was great because that she made that bet that you're not going to master this jutsu, and she bet that necklace, and then
that's actually a point that I want to make here. So Naruto up until now has been trying to use one or two hands to try to make the Rasengan, but when he's fighting off against Kabuto, he comes up with the idea of using a clone's both hands as well as his hand to hold the Rasengan, and it makes a perfect Rasengan.
It does, yes. It was just a great setup.
Especially since that's Naruto's own personal way of making said Rasengan. Like, he's the only one who uses a clone for it.
He is. I mean, it's a great way to prepare the jutsu. He really just progresses the ninja more and more and more. And I remember a conversation Jiraiya and Orochimaru had where Orochimaru questions Jiraiya, why do you have this one and you didn't take Sasuke for training? He's like, what's the point of training a ninja who already has everything? This one's imperfect. There's more to like teach him, and there's more to work with here. I don't want someone who's already got everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So, absolutely amazing arc.
So this entire showdown I love, but just one last thing I want to say before we move on to the last arc.
Yeah, of course.
I love all three summons that come up against each other. So we have we have Gamabunta coming in, then we have Manda for Orochimaru, so his giant purple snake, and Katsuyu, the giant slug for Tsunade. So we have all three Sanin's massive summons all together in a final fight, and it's really a great thing to see, honestly.
To be lucky enough to witness that was amazing. You know, Naruto and Shizune, they got to see that in action. It was great.
Well, Naruto didn't because he was passed out after Rasengan.
Oh yeah, he was out. But you see what I mean though. Like, it was just an amazing battle. And at the end of it all, Tsunade becomes the 5th Hokage.
So yeah, the first female Hokage on top of it.
She was she reigns as a Hokage for the rest of the series. So she does a great job.
Can I pop the bubble just for a split second here?
No bubble popping.
Okay.
That's basically everything with the 5th Hokage becoming the 5th Hokage. It was an amazing arc that I really enjoyed. Not my favorite, definitely not my favorite. I felt two things that I didn't enjoy about this arc. I felt that Tsunade's character was a bit bratty to begin with, and I didn't enjoy that part of it. And I just felt like Orochimaru was like very present here. And after the 3rd Hokage's death, I wouldn't have minded if he just went away for a little bit. Personally.
If who went away for a little bit?
Orochimaru.
Honestly, yeah, because, I mean, after the 3rd Hokage's death, Orochimaru's arms were sealed anyway, so he couldn't do a whole lot of stuff on his own as was. And then his arms got better, so he could do shit, so...
And this brings us to the final arc, the Sasuke Retrieval Arc. Now, I've done an entire podcast breaking down this arc, but it's amazing, so we're going to go through it anyways. Yes, go ahead.
Which is the only arc I've seen from beginning to end when it aired on TV. The rest of them I've seen bits and pieces, but this is the only arc I've seen the complete way through.
That says a lot. That says a lot, guys. Coming from Hotshot, that's a big deal.
Seeing that I watched something.
I mean, yeah. Let's begin with Sasuke's lust for power.
I've learned since then.
Let's begin with Sasuke's lust for power. He's jealous. Who is he jealous about?
The Uchiha.
No, but he's jealous about Naruto, right?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Orochimaru. My bad.
No, Sasuke. Sasuke has a lust for power,
Sasuke Orochimaru,
right?
I get these two confused all the time.
What did you think about Sasuke's jealousy?
I thought it wasn't validated, honestly, because, I mean, he shouldn't have turned it into jealousy. He should have turned it into, he's growing, and he's growing stronger. What is he doing that I'm not doing? And then learn from that. But instead, it's just like, why are you so much better than me? Because I'm doing more. I've been training. I've been with another master training with other tactics. I've been learning a whole bunch of different moves and different controls and different everything, really. I learn from what I do, and you're just burning yourself out on the same moves and everything else. So, yeah.
I mean, personally, this first initial fight in the hospital rooftop was one that I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah.
It really sets out the power difference between Naruto and Sasuke, where they're even, but they're not even. It's like it's clear, but it's unclear. And the way Kakashi interrupts that battle. What were your thoughts on the hospital rooftop?
I loved the fight, especially, since it was pretty much always just a stalemate, so no one was winning, no one was losing. But the thing that throws it for me the most, I say throws it, but it's when I say that, I mean the thing that makes it for me the most, is when Kakashi steps in, when Sasuke is coming at Naruto with a Chidori, Naruto's coming at him with a Rasengan, and Sasuke, damn it, Kakashi completely throws them into two totally different objects, which the Chidori makes a huge, massive hole in what he hits, and then the Rasengan just makes a very circular dent in what they hit. But then, when Sasuke and Naruto are leaving the hospital, Sasuke passes by directly behind what the Rasengan hit, and the back of it is completely blown out. Like, way bigger than the Chidori's hit was.
Yeah, one's a jab, one's a nuke. It's obviously going to be different impacts. But I want to ask you this. We obviously, Itachi tells Sasuke, I'm not interested in you. And I think he picks up on the fact that he was interested in Naruto, and that's why he was after Naruto. Do you think that adds to the fuel, the fire to the fuel that Sasuke holds against, the grudge he holds against Naruto?
I want to say yes, because, so Sasuke comes up against Itachi, and Itachi basically says, you're not worth my time, come back at me when you hate me. And then shows actual interest in you. I need you. And he's pointing to Naruto. So yeah, I can completely understand where you're coming from with that.
I mean, for me, moving on here, obviously the Sound Ninja 4, they ignite, they press the Itachi button, they ignite Sasuke, and that makes him want to leave, and we really get into the whole retrieval arc of it all. And obviously with Konoha Crush being so recent, still in the series, they don't have the Leaf doesn't have a choice but to take Chunin Shikamaru, the only Chunin that passed the exam, to form a group and everything, and that's when they go after them. Who is in the squad that goes after Sasuke?
Kiba, Choji, Naruto, Shikamaru, and Neji.
Yes, the 5 of them. And Shikamaru, I really enjoy seeing his intellect going to play here, where he's like, Neji's in the front because Byakugan. I'm in the back so you can see instructions. Naruto in the middle because clones. Kiba in the very front. Anyway, you get what I mean. He made a crazy plan to really make it where it was Kiba, Shikamaru, Naruto, Neji, and Choji.
Yeah.
It was a great formation.
And so there's a really big part about this chase that I really want to get to. So
go ahead.
I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go through each of their fights, but I'm going to do it fairly quickly, so just bear with me here. So, the Sound Ninja have a squad called the Sound Village 5, or Sound Village 6? No, Sound 5.
5, yeah.
Okay. So, they have a squad called the Sound 5, and as the group goes in order to chase Sasuke, who's going to Orochimaru, they each get split up into their own fights. So, Neji comes up against a guy named Kirimaro, who is basically a spider guy, and completely almost destroys Neji because there's 1 degree in Neji's Byakugan that he can't see out of.
Yeah.
And Kirimaro keeps using that one area in order to pretty much almost defeat him. Neji does win in the end, but just barely. Then we have another fight with Choji going up against Haibojo. I don't remember his name that well.
Choji's fight?
Yeah.
Jirobo.
Jirobo. Okay, I was close. And then it's just these 2 big guys, Jirobo having like an Earth-style way that he can use, Choji having his
Akimishi pills.
His Akimishi pills, which increase his strength, speed, and everything else. Then he gets to the last one, which has the risk of killing the butterfly pill, which will probably kill him, but it increases everything that he does by like 500%. And he grows awesome butterfly wings and completely destroys Jirobo, and I love it.
Can he not fly because of this? Or am I just off?
I think
he has wings.
I don't know if he has wings. He should be able to fly, but the wings are also made of chakra, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know. But that was another amazing fight.
That was an awesome fight. And then we have Kiba. By the way, guys, these fights are not in order at all. I do not remember the order they happened in, except for the final ones, so bear with me if this is wrong. So Kiba comes up against a guy called Sakon, who revealed that the bulb behind his head is actually another head. So Yukon. So it's Sakon and Yukon versus Kiba and Akamaru. So it's a 2-on-2 fight. And then we have Fang over Fangs. We have Sakon and Ugon doing walls and prisons and everything like that. And then we have the Great Wolf Fang over Fang. And I love this move.
That was great, yeah.
Because it's just a 2-headed wolf and a giant one barrel to the death, and it's just an awesome scene. That fight is the one that I probably remember the most because I always loved Kiba, so I just remember that move very, very well. And then
it was everything.
So that's 3 out of our 5. So we just have Shikamaru and Naruto left. So Shikamaru comes up against a girl with a flute named Taya. And Tayuya. What Jaden said. I'm horrible at pronouncing Japanese names. And she has a flute that can summon ghost spirits that fight off against Shikamaru. And then
Genjutsu expert. Her only ninja tool is the flute, and that's a huge thing. Where basically, because Shikamaru knows that, he lays down the shuriken next to the kunai next to him, which basically gets her right next to come up to him, and that's where he uses his shadow possession and shadow strangle to almost nail her down, where she just gets strangled.
Yeah, but there's also something else that happens in that fight after Naruto gets hurried off to continue after the chase after Sasuke.
And Kimimaru, yeah.
And Kimimaru.
Because Kimimaru comes in.
And takes Sasuke from Tayuya because she's been caught. So Naruto continues the chase, and then Shikamaru's fighting off against her. But when he's almost at the brink of losing, Tamari, of all people, comes in to help.
Yeah, Tamari comes in to help Shikamaru, Kankuro to help out Kiba, and at this point, Lee takes the place of Naruto.
Then Gaara. The best.
Yeah. We'll get to there. Just give me one moment.
I know.
And Lee gets saved by Gaara. I mean, let's talk about Lee here.
So when Naruto finally comes up against Kirimaru, who has a bone style Kake Genkai. Kasi?
Yeah, that was perfectly Japanese.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I was basically it.
So when he finally comes face to face with him, Kirimaru is putting up a pretty big fight, and then we get the return of the handsome devil of the leaf, Lee, who, since the Chunin Exams, since Gaara smashed his arm and leg in a sand coffin, we thought would never become a ninja again, would never be able to walk again even, and yet here he is in his prime and glory fighting off against one of the Sound Five. And I love Lee's return because when I was watching this Naruto, Lee was my favorite character.
Oh my god, and the Drunken Fist.
Ah, yes, the Drunken Fist.
What did you think about that?
I honestly thought it was a great homage to an actual fighting style.
Which is
the Drunken Fist fighting style.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's an actual thing. So, Lee, while he was recuperating and everything, he one night actually had a sip of sake, and he completely destroyed an entire restaurant because of how wasted he got. And he says to Kirimaru that it's medicine, but really it's sake that he has on him, and he just immediately goes into a Drunken Fist, and it's amazing.
Oh, it was great. It was great. But then that's where Gaara comes in. What was your thoughts on Tamari helping Shikamaru, Kankuro helping Kiba, and Gaara helping Lee?
I love the sand coming back to help the leaf, especially after the destruction where Obviously, the alliance between the sound and the leaf, or the sound and the sand, did not last at all. I love the fact that they're coming back and helping the leaf and just completely doing a 180 because of what they've learned from the destruction. So I love the addition to all three siblings coming in and helping the fight.
I mean, they had a lot of help, and it was thanks to the fifth Hokage here. And also, at this point, we find out, Kakashi finds out that they all went after them. So he's on his way now to go save Naruto and all of that and bring back Sasuke.
But
because
the
Naruto
moment that Kakashi starts on his way, Naruto catches up with Sasuke, who has gotten out of the barrel and headed out on his way. So Naruto and Sasuke are finally face to face in a final fight in the final valley of the entire series. And it's this entire fight, I kid you not, was marathoned in one night. It was like, I want to say it was like 6 or 7, almost 10 episodes. I want to say, I could be wrong.
I think it was 5 tops.
Was it 5? All right.
I think so, yeah.
It may have seemed longer because I was a kid when I saw it. So 5 episodes just straight marathoned through a network that I just sat down and watched with a friend of mine, and we loved every single fight of it. There was a falcon drop from Sasuke onto Naruto from the top of the statues all the way down to the ground. There was a Naruto chain of clones that slammed Sasuke into one of the statues or a mountain. There was a fireball. There was a moment where Sasuke impaled Naruto with a Chidori that Naruto just barely managed to make Sasuke miss his heart. It was just all over the place, and it was just every single move counts.
The third palm, whatever you want to call it, into the Sharingan, saw Naruto getting a bigger buff from the Nine-Tails.
That is my favorite Nine-Tail form even today.
Yeah,
it's
the cloak, the first stage
it's
cloak.
It's just the aura of Nine-Tail, yes.
Yeah. And then there's also, obviously, the second stage Curse Mark, the Vermilion Rasengan versus the Curse Mark second stage Chidori, the scratching of the headband, Kakashi getting there right after
Sasuke left, and Naruto's just on the ground with a scratched headband next to him. And it's an incredible fight. Even if you don't know what Naruto is, or even if you've never seen any of the fights up until that point or know anything about the characters, the visuals, the moves, the dialogue, especially if you do know the characters at this point, between the two of them, fit so well for just one big, massive series finale.
Absolutely a great way to end this first series. Obviously, there's the other filler stuff after that, but we're not going to talk about that. The main series.
Fillers were outside the bubble, so no fillers.
Yeah. No filler, no bubble, no filler.
No
in the
no
bubble.
Sorry. Okay, let's talk.
So basically, that's the entire series in a sense. I know. I think I should have said at the beginning. We're obviously not going to cover every single little detail in every single arc. We wanted to just give a generic overview of our thoughts, our favorite moments, and everything. And this arc is a great way to cap the whole thing.
Yeah,
off,
it really
honestly.
is. So with that final arc out of the way, so with us wrapping up here, let me ask you a question then. What is?
I had 2 more thoughts on the Sasuke Retrieval Arc.
Okay, go.
Okay. So I wanted to mention when the actual medical squad gets there and starts bringing back everyone. Shikamaru kind of gets laid into a little bit by his dad, where you failed and you were you were the leader. You were supposed to win, but you failed. And he starts crying, and he's like, "Next time it won't be a failure." And guys, Neji got impaled by a crazy arrow, and it took maybe 24 hours, 48 hours of people of medical ninja just in a room, 4 of them at the same time in the emergency, trying to reform the skin around him. And it was it took all the chakra they had. It was everything. It was insane.
Well, it wasn't only Neji either. Neji, Choji, Kiba. It was literally everyone except Shikamaru that was put in the hospital afterwards.
No, I know, but Neji got it the worst, man.
Neji
the worst.
Well, yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to give you that one.
Neji was just I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but he got it the worst. And this brings up a point that I want to discuss with you, and then we'll go into your points. Shouldn't there always be a medical ninja in every single squad?
Yeah, yeah. But
you know what I mean?
Truth told, when they made the squad, there wasn't really anybody left to go with them. And everyone, basically the only ninjas that were left at the time were the Sound Village, well, now 11, or Leaf Ninja 11, who none of them were trained in medical ninjutsu yet.
No, I know that fair point, but I did this Sasuke Retrieval Arc breakdown podcast with Ben, and we came up with like, what was Ibiki doing? What was Anko doing? What was my guy doing? What was Kurenai doing? What was Asuma doing? What was Tenten? What was Ino? What was Hinata? Sakura could have gone with them.
Sakura didn't have the heart to go with them. That's why she asked Naruto.
No, I know, but like all those other people I just named, Shizune maybe, there were other resources that were never absolutely explained. Another one that I think is like the biggest one to mention here, Shikaku is there the morning where when Shikamaru has breakfast and gets called upon to the Hokage, and Shikaku, Shikamaru's dad, is also there at the end at the hospital. So he was present at the beginning and at the end. So he could have gone out there as well. Like there were little resources that were not tapped into that could have been tapped into.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. But again, plot device. That's why.
I know, obviously plot device. But go ahead with your points, and then we'll close it out.
So, just a counter thing on what you just said with the medical ninjutsu, especially with all of them splitting up into different fights and having one medical ninja. I mean, maybe they could have helped one and then hurried. But at the same time, there's not a guarantee that they would have gotten there in time. So yeah, they would have guaranteed like one person walking away without having to hospitalize, but that would have still been 3 hospitalizations.
But still, one more person is all they needed to win.
I mean, yeah, fair enough, but then only one.
That's why you need the medical ninja. Let's say you heal up Kiba and you come back. Kiba can now go help out Naruto against Sasuke. 2-on-1.
I mean, yeah, but do you really think that Naruto would accept someone else helping him, or do you think
yes, because the mission is to bring back Sasuke. Yes.
Yeah, but it's still...
No matter what.
It's still Naruto wanting to bring Sasuke back himself on top of it.
But you don't think the other ones want to bring back Sasuke too?
Not really.
You don't think Shikamaru and Kiba want to bring back Sasuke?
Shikamaru flat out says before they go, hey, so I don't really like Sasuke, but
it's his mission, dude. It's his mission to bring him back, so he has to follow through the mission. He cries because he feels the mission. Yes, he wants to bring back Sasuke. He's a comrade of the Leaf. I never liked the guy, but he's a comrade of the Leaf, and I'm going to do what I have to do. So yes, one more medical ninja would have changed everything. One more ninja would have changed everything in this arc.
Okay. Agree to disagree on this one.
I guess so, but I am correct.
Agree to disagree.
But I'm right.
Agree to disagree.
But I'm right.
Agree to disagree. Say you are right one more time, I will pop the bubble.
I'm just saying.
Say it again. Right. I dare you. I double dare you.
I'm right.
So in Shippuden...
All right, but your final thoughts for real though. That was great.
So my final thoughts for the entire series as a whole, I love the entire series, especially watching Naruto grow and then having to introduce other characters and watching them grow along with the Jonin that we already know. And the character development, especially with Sasuke getting more and more frustrated until he finally leaves, Naruto growing in strength and encouragement, and he starts off this entire thing where it's just Iruka, where it's just him and Iruka being the only one backing him up. And throughout the series end, he has Kakashi, his entire squad, the Leaf Ninja 12, then he also has Pervy Sage, the 5th Hokage, Shizune. He has a whole lot of other people now on his back with him, helping him. And it's just a whole lot of really in-depth character, really well done, especially with fight scenes and everything else. It's not a perfect anime, but I want to get into that later because this is just what we liked about the show. And what we liked about it, I definitely loved. Because Naruto is the first anime, the first full-on anime that I grew up with, so it always holds a special place with me.
This anime, this first series, was why I'm podcasting right now, because it was the first episode of Anime Podcasters that I was like, Kyo, I want to talk about Naruto. Want to do a podcast? Okay. And then we did a second one, and a third one, another one. And it's just a series that has so much to it where I just think that one podcast does not do it enough justice.
And
I
a
really,
series. Sorry to cut you off, but and a series that has a place in everyone here at Anime Podcasters. It has a special place in all of our hearts.
definitely, and I think that the most how can I say this? What I enjoyed the most in this series is the growth that Naruto goes through. From the idiot who was painting the wall, the Hokage faces, to the teen who sacrificed everything, almost everything, to bring back his friend. It was a lot,
It's a massive leap.
yeah. So that's gonna be it for this episode of Anime Podcasters.
There is actually one last thing that I want to do before we close everything out.
Go ahead.
What was your favorite arc?
Specifically the Force of Death, the Chunin Exams.
Okay. I actually didn't expect your answer to be that quick.
No, for sure. For me, it's that one. Like, I loved it.
But I'm gonna have to go preliminaries and finals for Chunin Exam. So Chunin Exam is definitely my favorite.
Yeah. It's great. I have a proposal for you I want to do a podcast at some point, and I don't want this to become just a Naruto centric podcast. In a few episodes, I want to set up maybe a Uchiha podcast and talk about Hitachi, Sasuke, Madara, and really just go through everything about the Uchiha. I think that would be
I'm
that
down
would be a fun
on
one.
one condition.
What?
At some point in the future, we also do a Hyuga podcast.
Yes, we should. Oh man, I don't want this to become a Naruto fest. So
It is a Naruto fest. We'll split these apart. We won't have them like one right after the other.
No. We'll figure it out. That's gonna be it for this episode of Anime Podcasters. Next podcast, I'm working on getting another guest. I want to try getting more guests. I'm just trying to DM this person and just getting it all nailed down, and we'll figure it out. It's gonna be really fun. Hotshot, please let the good people where you are in the internet. What cloud of dust are you on these days?
You peoples can find me right here on Jane's channel because, like I say many times, he never lets me leave. But you guys can also go ahead and find me on my Twitter handle, which is Caution Ginger. I'm trying to get it fixed. And and Jaden, I know you don't believe me, but this is true. I am going to be posting my own videos over on my channel, Hotshot Ginger. So just go ahead and keep an eye out for that. And
I
said sometime. I never said a day. I said sometime.
Will it be in 2018?
Maybe.
Yes or no? Come on?
I will get one video out before the end of 2018. That I do hold myself a promise to.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
But then 2019, I'm taking a long break, and then I'm getting right back into it in 2020.
Perfect. Only even
number years. That's the only time you guys have the burden of Caution Ginger or Hotshot Ginger. I'm using my old name. That's not my name anymore.
So, okay. And anything else you want to plug?
For now, no. Jaden, go ahead.
I want to give a big shout out to GoProkyo for doing all of the artwork for Anime Podcasters. Go hire him. He has his own DeviantArt. He has his own Wix page. He has a Twitter at GoProkyo. Go follow him. Hit him up in the DMs for some great artwork and affordable rates. Like very much like a great artist. And you can subscribe to Anime Podcasters on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube. All the links are going to be in the description for that. Make sure to also follow me on Twitter at JaianMusic, Facebook.com/JaianMusic, and leave us a ratings on iTunes. That's going to be it for this episode of Anime Podcasters. Hotshot, thank you so much for doing this podcast with me, and we will see you in episode number 43.
Number 43. All right, guys. We'll see you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
That was good.